Y'all, I'm bringing you another watch today from the Erebus brand. I now officially have the whole collection from Erebus, and I want to share them with you. But today what we're going to focus on is the Erebus ASCENT. This is their newest watch, and I just received it about 3 days ago. So we're going to break this thing down, put it down on the table, and I'm going to go ahead and review the Erebus ASCENT. Erebus is a new watch company started by Jody and Steve. Jody from Just One More Watch, if you haven't heard of them. But I have the whole collection. They started out with the Erebus Origin, a 41mm. I received the watch. I love the watch. I've reviewed it. I'll put a link up there. It's a really great watch. But as soon as I got that one, they started pre-orders for what they call their Gotta Watch. Their go anywhere, do anything ASCENT. And so I went ahead and placed an order for it. Well, in the meantime, while waiting on that watch, they released their Origin in a 38mm. And I thought this pink watch would look great on my wife's wrist, and I was not wrong. Now, she did want me to put on this pink band for her, so I found her a pink band, put it on. She loves it. You'll love it too, I can assure you. They're all three very nice watches. But what we're gonna focus on today is the ASCENT, the Erebus ASCENT. Now, I did tell you the order in which I got these watches, so this was the second watch I got from them, and to be quite honest, there was a little bit of a quality issue when I first got this watch. The bezel was very sticky, hard to move, and you really couldn't even feel it click. But I played with it for a while and spun it, and now it is just perfect. In fact, both of these Origin diver watches have really great bezel action. I'll let you hear it. Very clicky and no back play whatsoever. But I was a little concerned after I received it, and the bezel action was really bad when I got it, to be quite honest. I was concerned with the quality issue. But after I played with it for a while and got it working, it's been nothing but great. Now, coming to the ASCENT, I received it, I've been wearing it, and I can say I couldn't be more happy with it. This is just a beautiful watch for the price point. This watch, it's a little bit small. It's a 39mm. Now, if you're worried about getting a smaller watch, I want to compare it to the watch I'm wearing now. This is a watch you can go put your hands on at the store. This is the Tissot PRX Powermatic, and you can see the dials on these two watches are just about identical in size. And this is a 40mm, this is a 39. Now you'll see that the dial on the ASCENT compared to the case is quite large. So it doesn't look tiny by any stretch of the imagination. But let's go ahead and get this Erebus down on the table and we'll get into it. The applied indices on this watch have some very sharp angles cut into them, and they look really good. The hands on them as well have some very sharp angles cut into them. You'll also notice that the logo itself is an applied logo. It's not painted on. And under the 6 o'clock date window, there's a small applied indice on there as well. Now, I'm on the Facebook group, the Erebus Facebook group, and I've heard a few complaints about misalignment with the indices. I'm just not seeing it. This watch is really, the indices align very nicely. Everything aligns up very nicely. I don't really see any flaws at all in the dial or the indices. As far as the bezel goes on this watch, it is high polished. It is very nice. And the top of the case is brushed. Now on the sides, you'll see the polishing on it is very nice. And I love the curved shape that meet right down the center from the top and the bottom. Really beautiful. You can see that signed crown there, which is really nice. And it is slightly recessed, so it doesn't stick out very far from the watch, but it is quite grippy and easy to use. Now, they call this the J-style bracelet. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a Jubilee. The Jubilee bracelet is nice. It is not too jangly. It does not feel cheap. The clasp on the back just is very nice. It says Erebus on there. Now, it does have the micro adjust, the toolless micro adjust, which once you get used to that feature on a watch, it's almost hard to wear a watch without it. And I have more expensive watches that do not have it, and I really wish they did. The size of your wrist can change day to day, especially down here in the South where it's hot and you're sweaty. You'll go inside, your wrist will get smaller. You go out in the heat, it'll get bigger. And it's really easy to adjust this watch on the fly. Now, the case back is very simple. There's no exhibition case. It's just the Erebus logo. But they do make this watch in 12 other variants, and they call it their sports watch. But when I saw it, I really thought this white enamel with the Jubilee bracelet was just a very classy looking dress watch. And that's why I purchased it. Let's go ahead and put it on. Now, this thing is very slim fitting along the wrist. It is curved very nicely, and it hugs the wrist just very well. Now, you can see I have a 7¼ inch wrist, and it fits really nicely on there. If you were worried at all about the size, I don't think you have to be, unless you have like an abnormally large wrist, in which case it probably won't even fit you. I only had to remove 2 of the links, and the links are very small, so I didn't remove much out of it. Now, one thing I do recommend when taking links out, if you're taking an even number of links out, take one from each side. You want to keep that clasp in the middle. And if you only got to take one out, an odd number, I would take it from the 6 o'clock position, take it from that side of the watch. But you want to keep this thing with the clasp as even as possible, and it makes it for a really comfortable watch. And the size of this watch just wears really well. Really comfortable. It really hugs the wrist great. Now, one of the little complaints I do have about this watch is that when I first got it, the crown of the watch felt a bit gritty. But that immediately went away after 1 or 2 times of loosening the crown. Now, the only resistance I feel is the winding of the Miota movement as I screw it in. And it screws in very nicely. But if Steve or Jody, if you guys are listening, check the quality on these things coming out. Like I said, this one had a very sticky bezel at first, but it has smoothed out really well. And this one had a little bit of grit in that crown, but it is gone now. But I would go ahead and keep an eye on those things as these watches are being made. Now, let's go ahead and get this thing back up top, and we'll wrap up this video. If you're new to Erebus watches, they really come in a nice case. They come very well packaged. They come in a travel case that will hold 2 watches, which is really neat. I now have 3 of them. I like them quite a bit. They will also come with an Erebus cleaning cloth, which I use pretty regular to keep that watch shining. It does come with a screwdriver to remove the pins from the link. They are all screw-in links, but you can see, as I was saying, these links are very tiny, so I didn't take much out of this watch at all. And then it comes with a thank you card, a hello card, and a warranty card. You can see Steve and Jody there on that card. So I think for the price point, man, the packaging is really excellent with these watches. And they really do feel and wear like high quality timepieces. The dial on this watch is stunning. This white enamel with these applied indices, with these sharp angles, really play well in the light. Man, it just sparkles, and you're gonna find yourself just looking at this thing and smiling, wearing it out in the sunlight. You can probably even see a lot of it in here with my studio lights. I mean, it just really plays nicely with the light. But the few complaints I heard from the Facebook group, I'm on their Facebook group, people were saying that the indices were misaligned. I just don't see it. I heard a lot of people say that the brushing on the Jubilee bracelet doesn't exactly match the case. And in certain lighting, I can kind of see that, but it's really not noticeable, and you probably cannot see it on camera. Watch just wears really nice, really comfortable, and I really think it's cool what they're doing. Just to start a new watch company, they're not collaborating with anybody. They just started a watch company, and they're going to continue to make models. And if they keep making watches like this, I'll tell you, I'll keep buying them. These things are really nice. This watch is coming in at $400. I've got a link to Erebus down in the description. If you're into high quality timepieces for a fairly decent price, you'll be hard pressed not to like an Erebus watch. The three of them they have, they're all three of them. I like them, I wear them often. Well, I don't wear this one often, but I have worn it. But this Ascent, guys, you'll like it, I promise. You can go the sporty route with it, get the regular style the old style bracelet they call it, or you can go dressy and get this Jubilee. And I'm telling you, I really enjoy this watch on this Jubilee. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, I'll see y'all on Everyday Man.